Okay, we're going to get started with the next one, a great topic, which is the marketing of linear video to audiences with non-linear viewing habits. And for this, we have a great moderator. Bonnie Stone is the CEO of Butter Studios, which is a creative marketing group that provides brand-based marketing services. And those services include other services include live action and digital video production, original design, visual effects, 2 and 3D animation, motion graphics, branded content, and advanced media consulting. Formerly, Bonnie was SVP at groundbreaking over-the-top company Zillion. And prior to that, she held a variety of senior jobs at Turner, UPN, Fox Sports West, and other salesmen and organizations for local and national radio. So please welcome moderator Bonnie Stone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Seth. And thank you guys. Thank you everyone for coming, and welcome to Closing the Divide. We're going to be talking about marketing linear viewing to audiences with non-linear viewing habits. And that's a pretty big topic. We've got an amazing panel lined up. We have representation from The Lonely Planet, BBC, from Disney, Disney Junior, TV Guide, and NBC Universal Style Network. So to get your minds wrapped around this subject, we know that television remains a platform of choice for viewing video. Television, they're bigger, they're better, they're more affordable than ever, and there's a lot of great content. At the same time, audiences, all of us, are becoming more connected and actually platform agnostic around how we discover television content and how we behave around that content. So today you're going to hear from 4 experts. They're going to talk about how they connect, how they engage, how they support, and how they reach audiences off-air to promote on-air viewing. So what we're going to do is we're going to have everyone introduce themselves, and then they have some case studies and examples that they'll be showing you from their various companies. So let's get started. Sue?
Hi, thanks everybody for coming. I'm Sue Norton. I am SVP and head of Lonely Planet Television for BBC Worldwide. About a little over 2 years ago, BBC Worldwide, which is the commercial arm of the BBC, acquired Lonely Planet, the company Lonely Planet, which is at its heart a travel publishing company headquartered in Melbourne, Australia. And it's become much more than a travel guide publisher. In recent years, it's become a digital publisher. Lonely Planet Television is certainly the media arm of Lonely Planet, and it's a powerful global travel brand. BBC is built on powerful media brands, so it made sense for BBC Worldwide to acquire Lonely Planet. So I now work for BBC Worldwide, and in my role I am developing and producing content for all platforms. Certainly television is a priority, but I'm producing content for all platforms: short form, utility content, branded entertainment, YouTube video, and web TV, and television series, specials. And I work with BBC Worldwide in developing and producing the content. We do not have a Lonely Planet channel in the U.S. We have Lonely Planet channel blocks on BBC networks internationally, and so I produce content in the U.S. for other networks. So currently we're producing a couple of series for Travel Channel. We produce specials for BBC channels around the world, and we are looking at launching digital property. It's all about the brand for us. Obviously publishing is our core business, but media and digital publishing is very rapidly becoming priorities for us, and so that's sort of my role. Did you want me to go right into case study, or we're doing intros
We'll
first?
introduce everyone, then we'll come
Okay,
back.
thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Stephanie.
Hi, I'll just do a quick intro. My name is Stephanie Long. I'm a senior writer-producer for Disney Junior, and it is a multi-platform, the brand is a multi-platform destination for kids ages 2 to 6 within the Walt Disney Company. And I oversee all of the on-air creative and marketing for the network and brand vision, and work with the team of writer-producers to help us get our vision across.
Hi, I'm Carlos Sapene. I am part of NBC Universal, representing the Style Network. I'm Vice President of Digital and New Media. So I head technology, product, content, and video creation and distribution for digital platforms. I've been with the company for 8 years. I came from E! Entertainment before, where I used to head product. We're part of the Comcast family, and we've recently merged with NBC Universal. We are focused on, the overall focus is to be available to our consumer, which is mostly women, on every platform. And our sort of tagline, our internal tagline at Style Digital is that the world is no longer just online, it's connected, and it's connected everywhere.
Brandon?
I'm Brandon DiMassa. I run business development for TV Guide Digital, which includes tvguide.com, which has about 16 million monthly unique users, and TV Guide Mobile, which we're at close to 8 million installations and about 2 million active users in mobile. So even though the TV Guide brand is used by a couple of different companies, the magazine and whatnot, we are separately our own company of just digital. And my goal is to figure out through partnerships how we can work with over-the-top services, the networks, the channels to integrate their content, to get our users to consume video and content from all of our partners, and how to help monetize that experience. So.
Great, thank you very much. So we'll get started with the case studies. Sue has a great case study. She's talking about 1,000 ultimate experiences. And I think you've got some video and some cool stuff to show us.
Sure. So we'll wait on the video just 1 second. 1,000 Ultimate Experiences is started as a Lonely Planet book guide, and I have a sample of it right here. Just show the webcam. It's a great case study for what we take in publishing and how we further the brand beyond just the book platform. And after this book was published, a very popular book, 1,000 Ultimate Experiences, it is almost what it says. It's not as in-depth as your typical Lonely Planet guide, but it offers you really some great snackable content about amazing destinations and experiences around the world. And from that, Lonely Planet developed and produced an iPad app. And if anyone wants to see it after the, I can show it to you after the, after our panel here today. But it's a really neat interactive app that basically gives you the same snackable content in digital form. It's like a deck of cards here, and you can run your finger down the deck of cards. These are the 1,000 experiences, basically. So it's pretty cool. And then I looked at that and I said, well, that list shows on television are people love list shows. People love snackable content. Certainly in the short form world, on digital platforms, on the web, people love snackable short video. And even longer form, half-hour TV series, people love this content. So we looked at it as a great property to develop as a TV series. Also, we produce and distribute our TV content globally. So this is a hostless or presenterless TV series. And so it allows us to distribute this content globally, not just for a U.S. audience. In the U.S., this series is going to premiere probably in January 2013. We don't know yet. We've just completed the series for Travel Channel in the U.S. And then BBC Worldwide channels will distribute this show internationally. So I've got a video sample of the series, but it's a great case study for that 360 media experience. We have the book. We have the iPad app. We now have a TV series. So we're able to market and support all of these products really in multiple directions. So it's not like a one-way street. It's almost like a 2- or 3-way street. And we're giving that viewer who loves the book a lot of different ways to be able to sample and use the content in the way that they want to. So we'll just roll that video clip. Not the right music. I hear two, yeah.
That's Disney Junior music.
We've we've got Disney
Well, we
behind
have a new
Lonely
partner merge here, meeting merge. Anyway, well, maybe we'll come back to it, maybe.
Almost there?
It's a non-stop roller coaster of action, which makes this river like no other. Reel will definitely dazzle your eyes. And your taste buds will get dazzled too by Rio's famous signature dish, feijoada. In fact, your entire body will be doing a carnival samba once you've downed a bowl of this hot and spicy stew built on a foundation of black beans and pork.
You have to come with an empty stomach.
The East Tower has a special amenity, its very own dungeon.
The dungeon is below a bedroom, and in the middle of the bedroom there's a trapdoor.
Yeah, I've read that this is the most haunted bed in the country.
Sleeping here is an experience which you, along with some uninvited guests, won't forget. Forever and ever. The best way to explore the terrain is to join a safari, a word that means let's go in Swahili. Be patient as you drive around. You never know what's just around the corner.
Yeah, this is what we call the mock charge or warning sign. You know, she's trying to keep us away from her.
So it's a good example of basically and what our goal and objective was. And Lonely Planet's all about immersing and journeying to get to the heart of a place, being inspired by travel and getting some expert advice along the way. So this was a great project to be able to take the book and literally bring it to life in an immersive way with some actual travelers sharing their experiences along the way. So that's what it's all about.
That's great. That whitewater rafting trip reminds me. I did that exact trip, and it was so fun.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Wow.
A couple questions. How do you work with the BBC worldwide to leverage the Lonely Planet brand?
Great question. So, and that's really a big part of really what big priority or objective of what my job is all about. So BBC Worldwide is all about powerful media brands. Lonely Planet is now part of the portfolio. And BBC, as you know, BBC Worldwide is a very large global media company. So it's really a great yin-yang type of relationship where we can take this very powerful loyalty travel brand, publishing brand, and merge it with a very powerful media brand to create content that will work on television, on all media platforms, even in the digital environment. And so what we do is we're working together to try to create content that will work on BBC channels, on BBC platforms, BBC Worldwide platforms, and their partner platforms that also serves the Lonely Planet brand. So it's a really great symbiotic type of relationship. And I work with the folks in London at BBC and New York. on developing content that's going to work in lots of global, on different global and international channels and platforms, but also serving in the U.S. as well. In every territory we find, every audience in all different territories all want something a little bit different. And so we try to first remain true to the brand, and then second, try to create content that will work either globally or regionally. And so I work with BBC on that.
Oh, great. And one more question before we move on to Stephanie and talk about Disney. We were talking earlier about platforms. What platforms have you found that really work best for your brand?
Sure. So Lonely Planet, started obviously as a travel book, travel guide publisher in book form, and but they've really come a long way and have been very focused in the last many years in the digital front. So most of their books, all of their books now are available digitally. All the new titles are available digitally, and they're now very focused on creating apps and other tools for users and travelers that fit our brand, but also serve in that role of giving travel advice. And so along those same lines, we're working. We found that the short form content, utility travel video, which is it's very popular. And it's very effective in enhancing enhancing transactional activity in the travel space. Travel video is very effective for that. It's great for sharing. We've got a strong presence on Facebook, and LonelyPlanet.com is it's an award-winning top travel website. So we're using all of those platforms both to give out the information and advice about travel experiences and destinations that we're known for, but now creating video and apps and games to engage those users on different platforms. So we're finding the short form travel video is very effective. We're engrossed in developing web TV and digital TV content. I think that branded entertainment has been a great space for us. Other brands love to align with our brand and create content mutually. So I believe that digital space, OTT, a digital channel for Lonely Planet, and short form content, utility travel content are all great areas for us, and we're sort of playing in all of those areas, and TV as well for sharing travel experiences. So, but we're finding that the digital arena is a great place for the brand, and people are embracing it and able to take it, use it, interact, and also feedback in our Facebook, our Thorn Tree Forum, and LonelyPlanet.com.
That's terrific. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sue.
Sure, thanks.
And moving on to Stephanie and talk about Disney. And she has a case study talking about user-generated content to leverage campaigns, stunts, and brand image. So Stephanie, take it away.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. This past year and a half has been really an amazing opportunity for Disney Junior. We launched a year and a half ago as a block on Disney Channel. And then this past year, we just rebranded and launched as a 24-hour network. On Disney Channel, the block, we reach over 99 million homes. And on Disney Junior, the channel, we now reach approximately 55 million homes. So we really have a lot of, we reach out to a lot of viewers right there. We're really passionate about our brand. It's all about, as you can imagine with the company, it's all about magical storytelling and bringing characters that kids love and adore to life, and really bringing that out within our brand vision. And when we went into the rebrand of of Disney Junior, we really wanted to also bring in live kids and hear their stories and weave that into the fabric of our new brand. And one of the ways that we wanted to do that was through user-generated content. And parents love to take photos of their kids. They love to share those photos of their kids. So that was really a great opportunity for us to jump into user-generated content provided by parents and kids alike. Last summer, we launched our Yo-Ho Let's Go Summer campaign. And in addition to, it was a summer-long campaign where kids could watch new episodes of one of our key franchises, Jake and the Neverland Pirates. They could go online and play digital games and unlock special episodes. And also part of that entire stunt was a user-generated content portion of it, where we ask kids to show us your treasure, show us your summer treasure. Parents, take a picture of your child with their summer treasure. And we guided them with printables that they could print from DisneyJunior.com and color in printables. We also had some 3D things that they could create. We showed them how to create a treasure chest, and also gold doubloons they could cut out. And then we encourage parents to go on to upload those photos and really push those out and show us your treasure. It was a really successful campaign. It was our best rated preschool for Disney Channel ever. And this past Sunday, it just won a CTAM award, a gold CTAM award for marketing campaign. So it's really exciting for that brand. This summer, we went back and did Yo-Ho Let's Go Summer again. We opened it up. Last summer, it was just for Jake and the Neverland Pirates. This summer, we went out and we opened it up to some of our other franchises and series like Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and Doc McStuffins. And part of this year's campaign, we asked kids and parents to go online and take and they could do printables and cut out their printable, color it in, which was one of our characters like Doc McStuffins or Mickey Mouse or Jake, and then show us your photo. Where are you taking your little character on vacation? We want to see what you guys are doing for summer. So here's one of the spots that we did for that user-generated campaign.
Ahoy, mateys! It's Yo-Ho Let's Go Summer! You can be a part of Disney Junior Summer, too! We need all hands on deck! Get a grown-up and go to DisneyJunior.com/summer, where you can print, decorate, and take a photo with your favorite Disney Junior pal! Let's all try it, mateys! Show us your photo, and you may see yourself on TV! Disney Junior! Magic begins. I'm going where the sky is bluer. I'm going where the magic begins. I'm going to Disney Junior. Come on, everyone, join in. Well done, crew! For more on how to be a part of Yo-Ho Let's Go Summer, go to DisneyJunior.com/summer. Disney Junior, where the magic begins.
So really fun for parents and kids to get their kids involved in our summer campaign. That was a lot of fun for them. And from last year to this year, we did see a substantial growth of unique viewers to the trafficking to the home page and also in submissions. So we were really excited about that. Next steps as we're moving forward, we're now into Halloween. So we're like, what can we do next? What can we do next? So we wanted to get kids and parents for Halloween to test out video user-generated content. Again, you have this whole different entry point, getting parents and now, asking them to upload video, follow instructions, like you can't be more than 15 seconds long and stuff like that in order for us to really make it work. So right now we're actually in the middle of our Boo For You Halloween stunt. And I have a spot that shows this user-generated for video. This is the first time we did this.
This October,
it's time for costumes!
And tricks! And treats! Disney Junior wants to know, what are you going to be for Halloween?
Come on, let's go trick-or-treating. Vámonos!
Now you can be a part of Disney Junior's Boo For You Fridays. Grab a grown-up and make a video telling us your first name.
My name is Devin.
What you want to be for Halloween.
For Halloween, I want to be a pirate.
And show us how your Halloween character will act.
Arr.
Then together you can upload it to DisneyJunior.com/Halloween, and you might see yourself on Disney Junior.
Happy Halloween, everyone!
Be a part of Boo For You Fridays every Friday in October on Disney Junior and at DisneyJunior.com/Halloween.
So video. So so far it has really far exceeded our expectations. All the submissions that we're getting, and that parents are really following directions, and the kids are having fun with it. And that's all part of it, right? Following instructions. It's one of our top 2 super sites right now, and like I said, we're just really happy with the engagement for something of that.
Actually, I kind of like the music could be cool behind your video. I know.
Yeah. So we've also, so those are tying into stunts. We've also done some user-generated content promotion and branding that wasn't tied into stunts. We did a Mother's Day one as well, where we simply went out and asked kids and moms to upload photos of themselves with their mom, and we ran like a 30-second spot with some really nice, warm, fuzzy music, and kids got to see themselves on TV with their mother. So that was really fun too. So user-generated content has been a really big key part of our new brand, and we're really excited about where it's going.
That's great. You know, you're in a unique position at Disney. Marketing to kids is a different kind of challenge for you. Can you speak a little bit more to that and what that's all about for you?
Yeah, there's always that dual marketing that we have to go to. We're going towards parents and we're going towards adults, and we have to be appropriate and responsible that, kids are uploading their photos with their parents' permission. So we're always when we speak to kids, it's always make sure you go online with a grown-up or parent. And when we're speaking to parents, it's very specific about following instructions. We also, when we're speaking to this age group, preschool in particular, we're talking 4 to 7-year-olds or 2 to 7-year-olds, and they have a gatekeeper, and that's mom, dad, or caregiver. So mom or dad has to hand them the smartphone. Mom or dad or caregiver has to hand them the tablet or set them up on the computer. So these kids aren't doing this on their own. They have to get through that gatekeeper first. So that's why it's really important to talk to parents and get their trust. Once you get the kids there, I'm sure many of you have known kids that can just get up there, even at that age group, and just go for it. And they're doing things better than you can do, but they still need that initial entry point. So we do have that going right there.
Okay. Well, one more last question for you, Stephanie. So how do you apply this success to future campaigns? Can you speak a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So we're just looking to keep pushing it. Like I said, Halloween was the first time we did video, so we're really excited about that, and we'll probably continue to do video as well. We are now actually in the process of getting our user-generated content into programming. So in a couple months, there's a movie called, it's a Small Potatoes movie, where kids will be able to become part of programming, a movie. So we'll be asking for submissions for kids to be, for their parents to take a potato picture of them, and the kids their faces are going to be turned into potatoes, basically.
Cool.
So all the characters are like little spuds and stuff. So the kids' face and their hair, and actually we're going to be able to incorporate a couple hundred kids into this movie and crowd scenes and stuff like that. So that'll be, that'll be fun.
What did you call it? Potato?
Potato.
Potato.
Yes, because they're going to be potatoized. So they're going to have potatoes. And just one other thing that I wanted to mention real quickly is that, of course, not every kid can get on television. So what we also do is we'll create photo galleries online. So if your child was not selected to be on air, we'll have like all the submissions in a photo gallery where kids can go and they can see everyone's photo online. And also we'll create little scrapbooks for them that they can go online and create a scrapbook and then put their photo into that scrapbook so they can still feel like they're part of the campaign.
So it's really all about engaging really
engaging,
bringing that customer, that consumer into the content.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great job. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Point of clarification?
Yes.
Where are those spots running? Are those running on air on the channel, or are those exclusively on an internet situation?
No, these are on air. These are on air, yeah. The Halloween one is on air right now, and the summer one was during the summer, yeah. And then they'll also be on, I think a lot of times when you go to the main DisneyJunior.com, we'll air the spots and the landing page as well.
Great. Moving on to Brandon. I'm sorry, Carlos.
Okay.
Talk about what the Style Network is doing on the 360.
Yeah, so if you want to move on to the first slide, I think that it's interesting because at the beginning of this year, I went to CES, and the big buzzword there was the year of now. So it's all about now. This is the year that the consumer actually got it. That it's sort of like the mass has understood all of these devices, all of these places where they can consume the content. The younger generations already had it. There's a lot more adaptation that has happened in recent years. So to us, it's all about how do we get to these people? How do we get to them where they are? They're no longer just on the TV, even though according to Nielsen, TV watching has continued to grow. there's elements that are making that watching challenging, I would say. So if we look at the next slide, I just listed out a few of those elements just to highlight how many of these factors are becoming a challenge to us. One example, DVR rate has grown, again, according to Nielsen, about 8% year on year from Q1 of last year to Q1 of this year. So what we're trying to do is identify how do we approach the consumer based on the platform that they're in? How do we get to them through an element and based on their expectations? So if you move on, JR. We've developed this strategic approach where we're looking at the habits from the consumer, the interests from the consumer, sort of like what are these KPIs, what are these features that make the experience special based on the platform that the consumer is in. So we've, through our product development process, we're looking to identify and leverage the content the viewer is invested in, identify the appropriate approach and platform to target. Sorry that I'm reading through all of this, but basically what I'm trying to say is we have our shows, our users, our viewers love our shows, they love the short form content. Is that enough anymore? I don't think so. I think that the user expects to get a little bit more. And now it's more of an expectation, a given. People don't just go online anymore to see that deleted scene. They go online and they want to see more. Give me some nugget that I don't know. Give me something extra that's going to make my experience better, that's going to make me feel like an insider. And the whole reason, or one of the many reasons for this, is that we're really in a socio-digital age where people are accustomed to being heard. They love to be the first one to know. They love to be the first one to tell their friends. And they sort of communicate and engage, which has made the living room much bigger, right? So people now sit and they watch a TV show and they're watching it with their friends, but their friends are not in the room anymore. Well, all of this is happening. What I actually have a tagline on there that I really like. I made it up yesterday, but although the castle may look different, content is still king. How you deliver that content to that consumer, what format? Is it short form? What is that short form? That's what's going to make you differentiate from everybody else in the industry. There's a lot more original hours that are coming out. There's a lot of networks that are producing great content. It's a very competitive place that we're at. How do you reach that consumer? How do you get to them in every platform? One of the strategies that we're putting in place, we're calling the Style Quick Tips. And what we're doing is we're capitalizing on a success that we've already had in the digital platform. So our Style Quick Tips account delivers quick style tips to the consumer, and we have almost 1 million followers that we've amassed just in that Twitter account. What we realized is even though our viewers love our shows, they also expect a level of, I would say, stylish, authoritative voice coming from style. It's a brand promise when you have a name like that. You know, you have to deliver on it. And we've really focused on figuring out ways that we can bring the ownership that we have in this category in a relatable manner while building brand love and continuing to build brand love. We recently went through I wouldn't call it a rebrand because we're still called Style, but we changed the mentality behind the content that we're delivering, how we're delivering, who our passionistas are, who our audience is, and targeting them directly. So what we're doing is, okay, we had Style Quick Tip, or My Style Quick Tips, that performed great for us. How do we continue to leverage that brand? How do we build it out? So in the next slide, what you'll see is how we're broadening this brand coming up in the future. And actually already started today. We have we're implementing it on air, for example, with technology called SnapTag, where the user or the viewer will be watching a show on our network, and this layer will come up that will have a tip related to what you're watching on the show. So you can scan it with your phone, mail it in, and it'll return to you tip content related to what you're watching. It's one sort of second screen and interaction that we have in place. The other piece, obviously, the social piece. A new piece that we're building is this quick tip video concept. So one of the things that we realized is through all these years of delivering stylish content to people, we've amassed a very large library of tip-related content. How do we leverage then that content to deliver on the brand promise to the consumer? We've repackaged it into the Style Quick Tip brand. We've formatted it in a way that is sort of categorized based on interest, based on the reactions that we saw from the consumer, and we're delivering this package to the consumer in different ways depending on the platform that they're in. One of the ways that we're going to be delivering it is through a launch partnership that we have with Windows 8. So the app that we'll launch in the Windows 8 operating system will deliver to the consumer content related to fashion, beauty, and stylish living, and then subcategories to that. So we're basically saying, we're going to come to you, we're going to deliver a utility that you can access on a daily basis, that you can reference as our consumer on a daily basis. But at the same time, we're bringing you content that relates to what we have on our network. So it's a way to, I would say, leverage a utility to deliver a marketing message to the consumer.
Cool. So can I wake up in the morning, like, get my app on my phone, and it'll tell me what to wear if I put all my outfits in there?
It will tell you how to get a really nice smoky eye if you want to.
Okay, well, there you go.
And the idea is that it'll walk you through all of these pieces. So if you have your tablet, since we're launching the app version on Windows 8, if you have a Windows 8 enabled tablet or phone, you'll be able to sit there in front of the mirror and you'll have a step-by-step walkthrough of how to get your smoky eye.
Get that down.
Yeah.
Well, a couple questions for you. So the Style Network obviously attracts a younger audience, so that has to be a bit of a challenge. They want everything, they want it now, they have a little bit shorter attention span. Can you speak a little bit about how you manage marketing around that short attention span? Yeah,
I think it's all about the delivery. You can't expect the consumer anymore to sit there and only rely on the consumer sitting there and watching the TV and watching through the commercials so that you can get your brand message out there. You have to formulate plans based on each platform. You have to think, how do I reach a consumer on YouTube? How do I reach my consumer on YouTube? And how do I reach a consumer that may not be right now tied into what we're doing at the network level? So that new consumer that's engaged, that's digital, that's mobile, it's always in the back of our mind now in the digital space as we're making decisions, that we have to reach people wherever they are, however they're connecting, even sometimes when they're connecting through the TV, but not necessarily directly to a live feed.
Very good. Well, that really kind of speaks somewhat to my next question, but you might want to elaborate a bit on it. Is speaking to the consumer in a social, mobile environment is obviously very different than speaking than to them linearly.
No, that's a great question. The idea there is you can no longer just put content out there. Your consumer expects to be heard. They like to be heard. And if you really listen, it's not that there is one nugget that's going to make it all come together. You'll find that there's trends, that there's expectations, that there's things that the consumer wants from your brand that you can deliver on. In our case, I think earlier we were talking about a great use case for this. We had the moment on air when Juliana Rancic was finding out that her surrogate was pregnant, and if you looked at the social conversation at the moment that the show was on, this is obviously a very emotional, very charged moment. People are very engaged. Some of the tweets were, I am so happy for Juliana, but what color is her nail polish? it's so great that she's pregnant, but I love the dress you're wearing. Where can I get it? So we were listening to the consumer at that time, and it's happened across the board with a lot of our shows. So we've developed strategies to start delivering on the consumer expectation and delivering to the consumer what they want, if they want to know more. So for an example, we've developed short-form content that walks you through our talents' closets. What are their favorite shoes? And they literally sit there and go like, this is my shoe that I love, and this is why I love it, and this is how I wear it. So it's addressing the concerns that the consumer has, getting to them the information that they are expecting nowadays from the network.
Great, thank you so much. And I don't mean to cut you off. I'm going to keep going because
Yes,
we're
go
ready.
right
We're
ahead.
getting fast on time here. So Brandon, talk to us a little bit about NBC's new fall show, Revolution, and then how the TV Guide worked with that.
Great, thanks. So we're obviously a little bit different from some of the other panelists up here. We're not a creator of video content, but we are a very influential voice in this space. Our brand is still very powerful, resonates with users. We have scale, and therefore, advertisers and the networks like to work with us closely because we can influence decision making and help drive tune-in, both linear and also now nonlinear. So I want to talk a little bit about our new kind of flagship sort of Grid 2.0 product, which is called the Watch List, and then a little bit how that relates to a case study or a campaign we just ran with NBC for Revolution, which was very successful, and as you probably both know, that it's been a successful show in terms of ratings. So on the next slide, this is our Watch List product. There's a lot of talk about the grid is dead. We can certainly attest to that. We have millions of users that still come and check the traditional grid, but of course we're innovating upon that. So this is really a personalized, multi-platform way to track your favorite celebrity shows and sports teams. We're showing you where they're on sort of classic listings when it's on next on TV, but we're adding to that on demand and streaming and DVD. So a user could, this could be my watch list. If you go to the next slide, you click on streaming. We're going to give you this sort of one-click access to watch Revolution directly from your iPad. We're going to send you into iTunes, into Hulu Plus, into the ABC app, HBO Go app. So we've turned TV Guide into something where it could be a planning tool during the day at work, which was traditionally how we had a lot of our traffic, to I'm co-viewing at home on my couch, someone else is watching TV, I fire up the TV Guide app, and I can launch myself right into something else. And that's what our users are doing. So that's the watch list, and if you go to the next slide, this sort of launches into one more thing I was going to mention. We're also working with cable providers on showing their on-demand listings. So if you're an Xfinity subscriber, you may have free access to watch the show as part of your subscription. So again, it's in addition to working with networks, the cable and satellite guys love this because we're making sure the consumer knows they have access to this free on-demand programming that they may not even know about. So the next slide will get us into the case study about the show Revolution. So the goal here was obviously to help drive tune-in. Again, something that we do really well, but sort of with this twist of getting more people to add the show to their watch list. The watch list has a lot more staying power throughout the whole season rather than just getting people to watch on the premiere night. So we did this countdown clock to the premiere. We sort of promoted them in this very popular area called New Tonight. And had just a ton of hooks throughout the site to sort of add Revolution to your watch list. If you do one thing on TV Guide, on the app or the site, add it to your watch list. So the next slide shows you Revolution was the 4th most added show in terms of all the new fall shows. It was ranked 4th before the campaign started. We ran the campaign. We make it very easy to add shows to the watch list throughout the site, but of course we sort of did some unique things to make sure you could notice Revolution and a lot of the NBC fall shows. So at the end of the campaign, Revolution was the #1 show that users are adding to their watch list throughout our entire site and mobile apps. So that worked. And then, next slide, the end result here is that Revolution was successful. Now, we're not going to sit here and say that we're the reason it was a major rating success. Advertising it every 30 seconds during the Olympics, I'm sure helped, but we certainly helped the cause, and we're proud of that. I think it had 9 million viewers on the first night, and I think actually now it's like the number 5 Nielsen show if you look at the live plus 7-day rating. So no question been a success. We're really happy that we've been a part of that. And also keep in mind, when the show's in your watch list, it's there for the whole season, not just that one tune-in. So again, we're finding new ways to add value to that advertising package that we're providing to the networks.
Very cool. Very good. Do we have time for just a couple more quick questions? Okay. Just to follow up on that, can you just speak to what kind of predictive social TV trends that you're seeing?
Sure. And I actually think with the watch list, there's some really good examples there. There's obviously a lot of companies trying to look at how to analyze tweets. Can you predict ratings? Is there a correlation there? One interesting thing we saw from watch lists from last year is that 8 of the top 10 shows that people added to their watch list were picked up for a full season. And so this year, with the shows being announced earlier and earlier, we're tracking very closely what shows people are adding the minute they're announced. What shows have that buzz. And I think we're going to see sort of probably 8 or at least 9 of the top 10 this year being successful. So a lot of the networks, we have some really interesting data that we can share and potentially utilize because our audience is sort of that early sampling factor on what shows are intriguing to people. And we think there's a lot we can do with that data. So aside from being a nice utility in terms of the watch list, there's some value there in some early predictive data on what people are adding.
Oh, very cool. One more question. So are networks interested in using TV Guide to drive users to streaming options? Streaming is becoming a lot more popular. Can you speak a little bit more to that?
Absolutely. I think years ago we were all about just, this show's on 8 o'clock on Channel 5 tonight. But clearly, I spend most of my week working with networks, broadcast and cable to figure out how can we launch people from our app into your app, get them to download your app, and then actually refer people over to actually stream the episode. So a big part of what the watch list is and what we're doing from a product roadmap perspective is helping people find the show no matter where it's at. And the networks, I think, now more than ever are very supportive of that. And I think we're a great partner in launching them back into their experiences. So absolutely, yes.
Great.
Yep.
Great stuff. I just want to open it up to the audience. If anyone has any questions for our panelists, let us know. Any hands up?
So
Yes, sir.
Brandon, in regards to your last comment, so you're going into streaming. How do you monetize that? When I go and I watch something that's streamed, man, I don't want to watch commercials. I totally disregard any ads that are on the other part of the screen. So what do you do? I know you got your show on the network. That's being paid for by commercials. But then when you stream, how do you monetize?
That's a good question. So really, we view ourselves as a guide. And the more useful the guide is, the more often you're going to come back to it. So generally speaking, we're a scale business. We're an ad-driven business. If Revolution's in your watch list and we send you off to Hulu Plus to watch that show, that's Hulu's business, and they're going to run their pre-roll. How do we monetize it? A couple different ways. Revolution, NBC paid us, in an ad campaign to feature them throughout the site, adding it to your watch list. Tons of sort of bells and whistles around that. So that's one way that we're helping to promote the show. But we really use social. There's a lot of social TV companies out there. We're actually, we've done a ton of sponsorships around check-ins and things of that nature, all tied to a sponsorship. So everything we do from a product perspective involves how can this benefit an NBC, a CBS, an A&E to sort of help their cause, promote the show, and add in one of these hooks to it. So that's our monetization angle, but we're pushing you off to ABC and whatnot to allow them to monetize on their platforms, on their pre-roll.
One more? Any more? Yes.
Sapene, this question is for kids, obviously, especially preschoolers, are probably the least linear television viewers ever. They have their show, and between the DVR and the DVD and the on-demand, it tends to be more about the show. So when you're trying to convert them back to a linear on-channel viewer, is the messaging more towards the parent, towards the kid? Seeing yourself on TV is great, but for a kid, a screen is a screen in a lot of ways. So how are you driving them really back to the channel?
Well, we're definitely talking to the dual audience. So we have, we're mom and dad as the gatekeeper. And when we are promoting to them. A lot of it is a brand affinity. So we're getting them involved in our summer. We're getting them to fall in love with Jake and the Neverland Pirates, to fall in love with Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, to fall in love with a lot of our key franchises. And in that sense, it's about getting them involved with the brand. And especially for Disney Junior, this is the entry point into the company. And hopefully we're building brand for lifers. So that, I think that translates across linear, nonlinear, Facebook, where we have, moms and caregivers that are chiming in on Facebook and things like that. So I think it's more general of building brand affinity for them. Did that answer your question?
Are we done? I think that's it, yeah. Okay. All right, well, just please join me in thanking our panelists. We had a great panel. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.